As thousands protest in Cincinnati over the death of George Floyd, some are recalling the riots of 2001 and even civil rights protests from the 1960s. WCPO 9 News reporter Jasmine Miner spoke to a former NAACP president about how to make change happen.
There are businesses supporting the protests in their own way as they stay boarded up, like writing these kinds of messages. Racism is real, silence is compliance, and you're starting to see more and more people have this demand for change. But the big question is, how do you get to change and what will it take? Well, I spoke to former Cincinnati NAACP president Dr. Milton Hinton, who says he was there in the 1960s. He watched the riots in Cincinnati in 2001, and he says the difference between then and now is he's never seen as many white people joining in the protest. He says this protest in particular has been more widespread geographically, but still he puts out this warning. He says there's been too much focus on the marching and the chanting itself and not enough on the real issues. He says this goes beyond police brutality. It's about fair access to health care and the prison system. He says until we get to the root cause of systemic racism, there will always be outrage like he saw back in the 60s, and it will keep boiling over.
Because how long can a people who have been discriminated against, who have been beaten by whites, where not only were the authorities, like policemen and so forth, brutally beat and attacked black people, but so did a white citizen.
Well, he says if people really want change, the best thing they can do is vote. He says in his 6 years as the president of the Cincinnati NAACP, he wished he put more focus on pushing people to vote, because he says voting is where the real power is. I'm Jasmine Miner reporting for WCPO 9 News.